they put this name. And that is true, because the Portuguese brought in the word casta or caste, and the British in around 1528, that's when they did not know how to classify all those who are neither Christian nor Muslim. So what do you do with all of them? They bunch them up as, or Sikhs, so they bunch them all up as Hindus. So that's what is the explanation is given. That's also subject to correction. But I'm just saying, is that reason enough for them to have this kind of a line what they're taking? Or is it because that's how they're politically oriented and that's how they've been taught?
In most of our works, literature that I'm talking about, the land is referred to as Chodadesham, Pandyadesham, Kupyacholi, Vachanakutilehi, Kuntalehi, Sishtamule, says Vedanta Deshika. It is called the Chodadesham, Pandyadesham, Cheradesham from time immemorial, yes, as and when they ruled. So then we had the state with a new name called as Tamil Nadu. So Tamil Nadu, the land of Tamils, did not exist before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was. So I should be called a Pandya or a Chola.
Pandya kingdom. Pandya kingdom was known as Tamil Nadu.
Now,
even
now when you talk about the word, when you talk about Tamil Nadu as well, since Ramesh ji is talking, it's called as Alavai. In Kalidasa's work, Raghuvamsham, it is called as Uraganagaram, Alavai. It was called Kudal Managari.
No, the Pandya Nadu is always known as Tamil Nadu.
So what about Chola
because that's where the Tamil Sangam was there. That's why it's known as Tamil Nadu. But now the name denotes the entire state of Tamil Nadu, including the Chola, Pallava.
So that's what. So Tamil Nadu, as we see today, was never existing. It's come to fruition after.
It's a name that has come now.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing, to recognize Rajaraja Chola as only a Shaivite will also be wrong. Though he might have constructed a temple for Shiva, he has given so much of donations for Vishnu temples. In fact, his sister Kundavai has recognized herself to be an Alvar herself. In one of the inscriptions, she says she is so devoted to Vishnu that she calls herself an Alvar. The role played by Trisha. Aniruddha Brahmaraya, played by the veteran actor Mohan Ram, he belonged to the place called Anbil, traditionally in history. He belonged to the Gotra of Harita, from which Ramanuja comes. So all those Anbil plates talk about the lineage of the kings of Ayodhya, and then they talk right from Vishnu to Manu. Now, interestingly, Anand, there is so much of hue and cry about Manu Dharma Shastra in Tamil Nadu. Let's all of us now excuse ourselves and say we don't agree with Manu Dharma Shastram. Let's see what Rajaraja Chola has to say. In one of the inscriptions, he states, Yavat Kailasha Shaile Viharati. As long as the Kailasha exists, as long as the Milky Ocean of Vishnu exists, me, the one who has come in the lineage of Manu. Now, they may say it's Manu Niti Chola who has come. But here, Manuna Manavendrena Yapuri Nirmita Swayam, says Valmiki in Valmiki Ramayana. So it is very clear that if you have to associate a term, an identity, let's say the Tamil identity with Rajaraja Chola, you will have to agree with what all he says in his inscriptions. Correct. He says that Shiva should be worshipped. Will they worship Shiva? Now let's assume that Kamala Hassan says he's a Shaivite king. You should not associate himself with a Hindu king. From tomorrow, let him start reading the Periya Puranam and the Tirumurai. If he is a Vaishnava king, I will be very happy. I'll be esteemed very, very fortunate to have such a national award winning actor as my student to teach Nalayara Divya Prabandham. So let him learn. See, when they're not ready to read on the Tamil literature, the Bhakti literature, what is the use of talking about giving an identity to a king when the king himself is called as a Shivapada Shekara? Correct. He says, I am at the feet of Shiva. And Shiva is being celebrated in Rudram. Today being the day when it's Pradosham, we recite Sri Rudram. So from Sri Rudram, we know Rudra. So I don't know, where are they trying to head us to? They should be heading somewhere, right?
No, it is heading in the direction where they want to separate the whole concept of being a Hindu, Khushbu Sundar, from the various sects or the various different shoots or say branches of Sanatana Pratha. That perhaps is the motive when they say something like that. Would you agree, disagree, Khushbu Sundar?
No, I think it's just that they want to divide. They want to bring in a divide. It's the same BCK leader who's spoken in one of the areas in Tamil Nadu today, where he's saying that the DMK government should have the Hindu endowment in two different sections. You separate the Shaivites and the Vaishnavites, and this is what the talks are today. So they are the ones who have been talking about the divide. Though they say that we are the central, we are the centrist, or we are the leftist, or we are the atheist. We do not believe in Hinduism. We do not follow any religion. But they're the same ones who are talking about the divide. Nowhere in Hindutva, Hinduism, when we talk about anyone for that matter, whether they're Shaivites or Vaishnavites, we don't divide. We say everything comes together, and we say that It's about Hindu, the way of life. And it's easy for people to choose. It's their way of life. They have to choose what they want to do. But the minute you start talking about divide, and let me tell you, my very good friend, Mr. Kamal Hassan, is known as Thenampet Alvar. I mean, he may say that I'm an atheist, but he's known as Thenampet Alvar. So that, what does that make him is what I don't understand. But, you know, you cannot be using a religion, or you cannot be using a way of life for your political gains, whether it is Mr. Tirumavalavan or whether it is DMK or Mr. Hassan or anybody for that matter. You cannot be using that to gain any kind of political minds. You have your ideas, but then if you're trying to distort the history, if you're trying to take things away which actually belongs to the land of India, belongs to the ethos of life of Indians, if you're going to take that away, then that's when the problem starts. I think we need to have a very clear mindset as to where you're going to bring in, whether you want to believe your beliefs are your beliefs, but then you cannot distort what is there as the way of life of probably every Indian.
Somewhere I think what
and where were Christians? I mean, it was known as Hindu Nad. Where does that Hindustan comes from? Where does that when you talk about your river Sindhu to Indu to Hindu, where does it come from? I mean, that's the whole history what we have to read. You cannot
it's like conveniently weaving the narrative to suit a particular perhaps ulterior political motive, or it is stemming from a certain amount of lack of awareness or ignorance. Somewhere, you know, it's perhaps stuck there. And what we need to do, Mr. T.R. Ramesh, Dushyant Sridhar and Khushbu Sundar, is that to try and spread the awareness and talk about it a little more openly and challenge certain misnomers. T.R. Ramesh ji, I have run out of time, but I promise that we will do a longer debate and a longer discussion on this matter very, very soon. I have to wind up on that note. I thank you all for joining us on this Friday edition. Making way for brass tacks.
Good evening. There is politics bang in the middle of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. DK Shivkumar, the president of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee, was called for questioning today by the Enforcement Directorate in the National Herald scam. The Congress is alleging that this is nothing but vendetta politics bang in the middle of Bharat Jodo. The BJP is saying, why should there be some kind of an expiry date, if you will, on an investigation? If you are summoned by an investigation agency, isn't it your job? Aren't you duty bound to cooperate with the investigation? But all of that in just a moment. First, the story of what happened today.
Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra is going through Karnataka, but the state Congress president was in the national capital today. KPCC President DK Shivkumar and his brother DK Suresh were quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate in the National Herald case. The investigating agency grilled them for over 5 hours and took the details of the donation of 25 lakhs to Young India Limited.
I am a law-abiding citizen. I will respect the law. Myself, my brother DK Suresh, to respect the Enforcement Directorate and the law. We left our yatra in the middle and we have come.
The Congress party believes that the BJP is trying to harass DK Shivkumar after the Bharat Jodo Yatra received an overwhelming response in Karnataka.
They can summon Mr. DK Shivkumar and Mr. DK Suresh 500 times more. They are only trying to block our yatra, and we reject such malicious, vicious attempts that BJP is undertaking.
Meanwhile, the BJP has found a way to counter the Bharat Jodo Yatra. The state unit of the BJP has promised a statewide yatra from the 11th of October. The yatra will be led by Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai and former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa. It will begin from Raichur district and will go through 50 assembly segments in the next 3 months. As the BJP awaits the nod of the central leadership in Delhi, the Bharat Jodo Yatra has already covered over 100 kilometers in Karnataka. The Yatra now plans to cover another 400 kilometers by October 23rd. So the question we are asking, amid the Yatra, who is actually playing politics?
Now, before we go to our guests, the Congress has been claiming that the investigations and the summons against top Karnataka leaders, including DK Shivkumar, are with an eye to disturb the party during its Bharat Jodo Yatra. Well, here's how things have transpired in the last few weeks. On the 7th of September, earlier last month, Bharat Jodo Yatra begins from Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. On the 15th of September, DK Shivkumar, the working president of the Karnataka Congress Committee, the Pradesh Congress Committee, he is summoned by the Enforcement Directorate for the 19th of September. This is in a money laundering case. Then, on the 19th of September, he is quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi. On the 30th of September, which was just last week, Bharat Jodo Yatra enters Karnataka. 2 days before that, CBI officials survey DK's properties in a disproportionate assets case. On the 2nd of October, Gandhi Jayanti incidentally, the ED summons DK Shivkumar and his brother DK Suresh in the Young India case, in the Young India Limited case for the 7th of October. And today, the Yatra reaches the Adi Chuncha Nagari Mutt. It is a Vokaliga powerhouse. It is a very, very famous Vokaliga Mutt. And on this very day, DK Shivkumar and his brother are called for questioning. Also, DK Shivkumar, remember, he's a Vokaliga leader. He is called for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate on a day when the Bharat Jodo Yatra is passing through Mandya, through other parts of Vokaliga country, as it were, as it then seeks to enter Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us. Captain Ganesh Karnik is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Lavanya Ballal, spokesperson of the Congress in Karnataka. Nasser Hussain Ustad is spokesperson of the JDS. B.S. Arun is senior journalist, and Professor Chandan Gowda is the R.K. Hegde chair professor at ICEC. Captain Karnik, I'll start with you first. The Congress's allegation is a familiar one. It is that you are blocking Bharat Jodo. You are calling important leaders of the Congress party, including DK Shivkumar, bang in the middle of Bharat Jodo because you are afraid of the kind of response that Bharat Jodo is getting.
Good evening, and good evening to all the co-panelists, and thanks for inviting me on this debate. You asked me this question. Do you really think it is true? See, this Bharat Jodo Yatra is their activity. ED investigations are on for quite some time. It is more than 4 years, if I'm not wrong. And in fact, the first investigation happened during former Chief Minister Siddaramaya's time. And when his house was raided, Mr. DK Shivkumar's mother complained that it is all instigated by Mr. Siddaramaya. And this is a continuation of what was happening. Possibly, ED has got certain evidences which they want to inquire. The last point is, ED and its schedule of events with regard to investigations is not managed by anybody else. It's a very autonomous institution. It's an ongoing process. So if somebody is saying that we are coming in way of their Bharat Jodo Yatra, I think it is ridiculous and it is very funny.
Lavanya Ballal, the fact is that any accused person, and of surely Mr. DK Shivkumar is an accused in this case, the job of an accused person is whenever he or she is summoned by an investigation agency, you appear before that investigation agency, and all the more so if you're innocent and if you have nothing to hide. Why bring in politics? Why bring in the timing of this investigation or this interrogation that he was called for today, linking it to Bharat Jodo when the notice was served long ago?
Good evening, Zaka. You're absolutely right. When the ED summons a person, the person has to appear before the ED. Also, the legal provision for the person is, if he asks for a postponement of that, appearance, there is a legal provision wherein the ED can, give him a next date for appearing before the ED. So that does not happen. And DK Shivkumar was very clear in his statement when he said their rejection is a clear sign that the timing of their summons is political harassment.
But ma'am, can I ask a simple question? Ma'am, I'm sorry I'm interrupting. I generally don't. But, if an ordinary citizen of this country was served an ED notice, can he or she write to the ED and say, please postpone, I'm unavailable today because my leader is doing Bharat Jodo. Please postpone my questioning. Come on, let's be very frank about this. DK Shivkumar is asking for a postponement because he knows that he's a political leader. He wants to make a political point. For any ordinary citizen, do you believe this courtesy will be extended?
Well, Zaka, you will have to check with the ED if they will provide the same provision to an ordinary citizen. Since we are discussing about political leaders and politics, we do strongly reiterate the point that this is a harassment of our leaders. And this is what BJP has been doing. BJP has, from day one of the Yatra, has tried multiple issues to raise multiple things to disrupt and distract the nation from the Bharat Jodo Yatra. They will fail as usual. It is okay. Our leader has appeared for the summons that has been sent by the ED. And Zaka, let me tell you, when you say he's left the yatra and reached ED, he's not left the yatra. He's taken a day's leave and he's gone to Delhi to appear before the ED.
Okay, let me ask Nasir Hussain Ustad. The fact of the matter is that DK Shiv Kumar and people close to him are alleging that the exact time when this is passing through the Vokaliga strongholds of Mysuru, Ramanagara, Mandya, and of course eventually into Tumkuru, and then of course it goes on to Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. That is the time when DK Shiv Kumar is being questioned, because everybody in Karnataka knows he's a strong Vokaliga leader. In fact, Rahul Gandhi today met with one of the Vokaliga seers in Mandya. And the reason why this ED notice has been timed to today is because they want to rob the sheen away from DK Shiv Kumar and his Vokaliga credentials. Do you buy that? As a party that, is essentially a Vokaliga party, I'm sorry to say this, in Karnataka, do you buy that?
No, yeah, there are two aspects. One is the central government, the BJP government is misusing the ED. That is a different and larger issue. And I think by now all political parties and people who have established themselves in any political party are very much clear that the Bharatiya Janata Party is using ED to their whims and fancies. There is no question. But here in this question, targeting Mr. D.K. Shivakumar and calling them, I don't think it will make any effect. Here, the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which has been done in the Vokaliga belt of Karnataka, I think the Vokaliga belt, the central secular, has got its own strong base there, and it will create no effect, because the Congress here in Karnataka, it has to connect itself with the farmers, it has to connect itself with the sentiments of the minority, it has to connect itself with the sentiments of the backwards and the Dalits. Here the Congress party is keeping itself aloof from all the issues raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party and the fascist forces. They are keeping mum. I don't think they can connect with the masses here in Karnataka, and it is going to create no effect whatsoever in Karnataka. Here people have realized that the Congress party, the entire yatra process is to see to it that the way the Congress is sinking in the country, I think it is Congress Bachao Yatra rather than Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Let me ask Professor Chandan Gowda, who has studied Vokaliga voting patterns over the last many elections. Does this whole card still play in Karnataka? Because the fact is that the politics of India has changed. Today, when Mr. Modi campaigns, and this is evident in the 2019 Lok Sabha election in Karnataka, in the 2018 Lok Sabha election in Karnataka, even in the 2018 Assembly election in Karnataka, even in the 2014 Lok Sabha election in Karnataka, that the Modi factor has changed the dynamics of politics and campaigning across the country, and including in Karnataka, where there is a 4-5-7% vote share that is the Modi vote. To say and to look at politics from the same old prism of this is the Vokaliga belt and this is the Vokaliga vote and this is the Lingayat belt and this is the Lingayat vote, maybe the Congress and the JDS are still not turning the page, as it were, on how electoral politics has changed in this country.
You're asking me, Zaka?
Professor Chandan Gowda, yeah.
Zaka, I think the answer is a yes and no. In the cities, I think the caste factor may not play as much of a role, although it does play a role. But in rural Karnataka, rural India, every party you will see is fielding candidates based on caste considerations, including the BJP. I mean, if Basaraj Bommai is the chief minister, it's because he's Lingayat. He represents a big voter base. So let's not be under any illusion that these solid old voting influences have become inconsequential in today's India. They continue to matter.
Okay. But how may
Zaka, was there another question that you asked?
Yeah, no. How may this change, though? Because we have seen Rahul Gandhi meet with Lingayat seers in the past. He's met with a very influential Vokaliga seer today. When the Congress is trying to project itself as the party of the backwards, if Siddaramaiah is the face of the Congress for this upcoming election in 2023, how may this play, though, on a day when DK Shivkumar is called for questioning, he's trying to make it out to be quote-unquote, targeting the Vocaliga community because he's a Vocaliga himself. Will that play? Will that fly?
It's too early to say, but from what I can tell, the way the Congress handled it, that he did show up in Delhi for the for the meeting, it looks like to me that his popularity may have actually gone up. If the idea of whoever planned the ED was to harass him and make him feel weak, that hasn't worked. But really, Zaka, if you think about it, the Jodo Yatra in Karnataka is on only for next 5 more days. I mean, in 5 days, what would have changed drastically for the investigation to suffer? It's unclear to me. So when DK Shivkumar requested them for an extension, they might have easily accepted it maturely. And DK Shivkumar isn't any ordinary Indian citizen in the sense he's in the middle of a yatra, he's a political leader.
Sure.
That must, factor in, I would think. And anybody's, special circumstances have to matter.
But I don't know if our producers have this video, and I would request them to play this if they have it. I want to ask B.S. Arun this. Yesterday, yes. Rahul Gandhi, this video went viral of Rahul Gandhi holding Siddaramaya's hand and running, saying, "Run, Siddaramaya, run." Yes. Right? Yes. Many have interpreted this, yes. B.S. Arun, as the famous slogan goes, "Congress ka haath Siddaramaya ke saath." Do you believe that in this almost fratricidal battle that's going on between Mr. Siddaramaya and Mr. DK Shivkumar, that Rahul Gandhi's endorsement, if not said, certainly unsaid, seems to be with Siddaramaya?
No, I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way because Congress High Command has still not yet decided on whom to favor, whether it's Siddaramaya or DK Shivkumar. You might remember that over the last 2 days, it was Shivkumar who had been with the Gandhis. He welcomed Sonia Gandhi in Mysore, and he took her to took her and as well as Rahul Gandhi to the resort, the Nagarhole resort, where Rahul Gandhi made a plea to S.R. Bommai to save elephant cough. So what happened yesterday was just one of those things. I don't think there is any indication or was it symbolic? It is just a show of sort of support, show of backing for Siddaramaya as far as the walking is concerned, and not anything else. That's how I read it.
Okay. Let me get into a piece of breaking news again connected with the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Remember, Rahul Gandhi is in Mandya today. He met with an influential Vocaliga seer. He's in a public meeting this evening in Mandya. Rahul Gandhi has waded into the language and textbook revision controversy in Karnataka in his Bharat Jodo speech in Mandya. Rahul Gandhi has said, and I quote, "People nowadays are asking why is our language Kannada under attack and why is the history of Karnataka being rubbed away from textbooks." So this is what Rahul Gandhi has said. Let me ask Captain Karnik this. Why is Kannada under attack and why is Karnataka history being rubbed away from Karnataka textbooks? Captain Karnik.
Zaka, I think this must have been fed to him by some of the prominent leaders of Congress in Karnataka. Language, region, religion, these are the factors which have been extensively used by Congress all these years for their vote bank politics. Just before election, this Congress Jodo Yatra is a political yatra, basically. I don't know which Congress they are trying to Jodo. Actually, in a way, some people in the press, they wrote about it. It is actually Congress Jodo Yatra. They're bringing together the DKC faction and the Siddaramaya faction in Karnataka. Now, since he has to travel across Karnataka state, some issues he has to talk about. See, the national education policy and the emphasis on looking at Indian history from Indian perspective and changing this, education policy after 31 long years by a committee headed by none other than Kasturi Rangan. People have been nitpicking. And we always in this country, we had 3-language policy. And this NEP also recommends the 3-language policy. I don't know when and where they found out this a new issue of Kannada being rejected, Kannada being the 3rd level status and things like that. So they just want to make an issue of no issue.
Okay.
So
no, I think what
change.
he's also referring to is why is the history of Karnataka being rubbed away is a reference to the whole Tipu Sultan controversy around the textbook revisions that was by a committee headed by a gentleman named Mr. Rohit. I forget his second name. But let me ask Lavanya Balal. You know, the problem is that, let's face it, historical characters are complex. But whenever it is said that Tipu Sultan was also a tyrant, he also butchered Hindus in Malabar. He also butchered Hindus in Srirangapatna and in Mysore. That is also as much true of him as he waged the wars against the British. Why is that a difficult conversation to have, or why is that a difficult reality for either leftist historians or for the Congress party to accept? Lavanya Balal.
Zaka, I'm quite frankly confused with your debate. It is meandering all over the place.
No, because Rahul Gandhi, your leader, referred to history textbooks in Karnataka. I did not. He did.
No,
he did. He did.
Sultan right now.
No, he did. He said history, Karnataka history is being wiped off textbooks. I did not say it, ma'am. I'm just quoting what your leader said.
So, as far as your point you were making about the vocal legacy here, let me make it very clear. Yatra has a pre-planned where, the yatra will stop at a particular day, and it was decided much earlier than today, where the yatra will stop. And meeting the vocal legacy was in the pipeline much before we reached this venue. Having said that, you also spoke about...
but can I ask you, sorry I'm interrupting again, like I said, I don't interrupt guests, but can I ask a simple question? What do you think your leader Rahul Gandhi is referring to when he says Karnataka history is being rubbed off school textbooks in the state? What do you think he's talking about?
Exactly that. He's referring to the controversy that happened with the textbooks. And there were multiple things. Let me tell you, there was also stuff about Jainism and Buddhism that was misrepresented. Rohit Chakratirtha, who was heading the textbook revision committee, was not an expert at all, whereas the education minister claimed he's an expert. And there was a lot of controversy around that, Zaka. I'm sure you all remember.
Of course. But the main controversy was around Tipu Sultan, right? The main issue was around Tipu Sultan.
Zaka, let me make it very clear once again. It was not just Tipu Sultan. There were multiple historical figures that were misrepresented or wiped out, including Narayana Guru. Let me repeat, Narayana Guru also was about to be removed from the textbooks. And that is when the controversy was, Zaka. It was not just Tipu Sultan. There were multiple historical figures.
I want to come back to Nasir Hussain Ustad on this. Look, I don't think, first of all, political committees or politician-appointed committees should be looking at textbooks and how history should be taught. I think we should be mature enough to accept that political figures, historical figures, have always been complex. Tipu Sultan, for example, and you are free to disagree with me, Nasir Hussain Ustad, was a tyrant on the one hand. Yes, that is as much true of him as the fact that he took on the British. He fought 3 wars against the British. Nobody is denying that. But let's also accept he killed Catholics in Mangaluru. He killed Hindus in Malabar. That's also as much a recorded fact of history.
Hey, look, here I think Hazrat Tipu Sultan was a hero. And here, during those days, if there was a war between 2 armies, you cannot consider their caste. Now you tell he fought against the Christians. Was it against the Britishers or the Christians? Now unnecessary. These all things have been done. The same Bharatiya Janata Party leader, be it the B.S. Yediyurappa or be it Ashok, be it Basuraj Bommai, anyone, they have visited the shrine of Tipu Sultan and they have prepared their homage. They have worn their caps and their swords. Now unnecessarily, there are few people who are trying to spoil the entire thing. They are trying to create such a general perception about Hazrat Tipu Sultan, who fought vigorously against the British administration. He fought 4 battles, Battle of Plassey for 4 times. He kept his children in abeyance. History.
The Battle of Plassey was in 1757. It was a different war. I don't think that Tipu Sultan fought in the Battle of Plassey. There was the Anglo-Mysore Wars, as it's called. There were 3 of them. But anyway, look, I don't want to get into history.
What I'm trying to tell is the commitment with which
All I'm saying is, and I want to ask Professor Chandan Gowda this,
artificial issues.
there are historical issues which may or may not have been addressed, and political parties are free to bring that up in an election campaign or in public discourse. Nobody has a problem with that. The issue is somehow there is a certain squeamishness, a certain squirmishness amongst, parties like the Congress, the left parties, even JDS maybe to an extent, to accept that Tipu Sultan was a complex figure. I don't think there is anything less in accepting that, as much as he fought the British, and no one is taking away from his fortitude, his bravery. He fought as bravely as any king against the British. But at the same time, he also killed Hindus. He also killed Catholics in Mangalore. I mean, that's history. Chandan Gowda.
No, Zaka, all empires are never usually built on non-violence.
Of course.
And all kings have killed. Everyone is complex. But so the expectation that Tipu be especially seen as complex, I think, is to be a little, not objective in that sense. Every historical figure has to be opened up in that sense. Shivaji attacked Karnataka, Cholas attacked Kannadigas. If you look at it from these prisms, everyone will have harmed some community or the other.
No,
but that
Professor, my question is if Krishna Deva Raya was a complex figure, why is that same not extended to Tipu Sultan?
Yes.
Why do people get very squeamish about the fact that if Tipu Sultan is referred to as a tyrant or a killer of Hindus and Christians, then somehow that's very difficult to accept.
Krishna Deva Raya is never seen as complex. He's seen as a great king who wrote a few books, and that's it. We don't see who did he kill to become the emperor? Which communities did he target? We have no sense.
No, Samrat Ashok, the greatest king in historical India, was a complex figure. He killed tens of thousands of people in the Battle of Kalinga. He is a complex figure.
Yes, but
Chandragupta Maurya is a complex figure.
No, but it's an
Akbar
anonymous
the Great
killing.
is a complex figure. Why are we
we
so...
don't say he killed Hindus.
No.
Do we say Ashoka killed Hindus?
Why? No, he did kill
killed
tens
people
of
in Orissa.
thousands
The
of
Kalinga
people.
War,
Yes,
anonymous.
he killed tens of thousands of Hindus. That's why he took up Buddhism. Because he felt he was not able to adequately address the complexities going on in his head about killing fellow human beings. That's why he took up Buddhism. Anyway, look, my only limited... Anyway, I'll come back to B.S. Arun. I'll give him the final word. I think it's a pertinent political question to ask whether election of Karnataka 2023 is going to be decided by what Tipu did or did not do in 1784.
No, I don't think. The Tipu issue has been going on for quite long, and BJP will rake it up and Congress will answer it. So I don't think it will be an issue that will decide the outcome of these elections. Rather than that, it will be the current issues. It will be the charges of corruption. Then it will be the charges of the Congress dynasty and all that. So all these issues will dominate, especially the 4-year rule of the BJP and how well Congress will highlight these issues, as well as how strongly Modi will make impact in Karnataka. Mind you.
All right, I got to wrap up. BS, I'm really sorry. I'm completely out of time. It's a truncated debate tonight. But I agree with the last point that you made. I think there is a Modi vote, ever more so in Karnataka. I've seen this in the 2018 assembly elections, where he came and swung it at the last minute for the BJP and ended up as the single largest party. So yes, that is an absolute factor. Whether or not DKS being called in the middle of Bharat Jodo, whether that will stir up some Vocaliga sentiment, I don't know. We'll wait to see. It's going to be a fascinating election, this one, for Karnataka. Quick break. When we come back, we'll shift focus to Delhi, where there is a conversion storm in the national capital, in the middle of which is an Aam Aadmi Party minister, Rajendra Gautam. Did the Aam Aadmi Party minister hurt Hindu sentiments? That's the question. Right on the other side of this quick break.
And that's again a point which he made, that this is a clear-cut case of political witch hunt and yet again a misuse of the CBI and the ED. So how is the Congress going to use it to their advantage when they're going to make the point that, look, they are scared of the yatra and the traction it's been getting on the ground, and therefore they do not want DK Shiv Kumar to be there But the BJP's counter argument to it is that you are taking pot shots at us, calling us a 40% commission ki sarkar. You're trying to provide what you call and claim is a clean alternative to the BJP in Karnataka. But look, your state Congress chief and one of the contenders for the top post, if the Congress party comes to power in Karnataka, is himself under the scanner. He is corrupt. Therefore, what kind of an alternative are you projecting? So I think staying away from Delhi, if you look at the politics in Karnataka, that's going to be the game which is going to be played out by the BJP and also by the Congress.
That's a very important perspective coming in there from Pallavi. Pallavi, stay with us. Let's also go across to Ritu, who joins us live from Karnataka. Ritu, what is the schedule for the yatra today? And also take us through the recent raids that DKS was subjected to just a few days ago. And he also made a statement saying he doesn't know why he's been summoned today.
Well, exactly what we know is that DK Shivakumar has already left from Bangalore, and today he is going to appear in front of the ED right after the ED had summoned him. But of course, DK Shivakumar has questioned the timing and how the central agencies are being used from the BJP party to harass the Congress leaders. But however, what the Congress leaders have to say is that no matter what the central agencies decide to do against the Congress leaders and the BJP party who is trying to manipulate the agencies, the Congress leaders aren't scared of it. They all stand unitedly and strongly with the DK Shivakumar and the Suresh as well, and the other leaders as well, who have been harassed by the ED and CBI and the other agencies. So they say that since they have the respect for the law and order, the DK Shivakumar will appear in front of the ED to show that example and also set an example that the Congress leaders aren't scared of what the agencies have to decide. But however, we have seen the series of attacks that have been happened on DK Shivakumar, the raids that took place in the earlier, and therein how the CBI also visited his multiple locations and carried an inspection, checked all his documents too. So with that all, the DK Shivakumar is saying that somewhere this is panicking the BJP party, the Bharat Jodo Yatra's success, but they say that this success will continue for all the days till the Bharat Jodo Yatra gets over here in the Karnataka, and in the upcoming assembly elections as well. It is the Congress party who will be able to make its mark and come back in the power, and then show the BJP party how things have to be panned out in a political manner.
As Rahul Gandhi leads Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra to Karnataka, the Enforcement Directorate has summoned Karnataka Congress Chief DK Shivakumar to appear before them in Delhi today. This in connection with the National Herald case. The ED had rejected Shivakumar's request to extend the date of his appearance, citing the responsibilities he has during the ongoing yatra. Remember, the case relates to alleged financial irregularities committed by the Young Indian Limited while taking over the assets of the National Herald. The IT department during the initial probe had allegedly found unaccounted for and misreported wealth linked to the Congress leader.
He has summoned DK Shivakumar. They have asked him to appear before them. So how will he take up? How is Congress party planning about it? Because he is saying that he will be consulting the Congress party leaders and then taking decision.
They have filed the case with vengeance. Why they are not filing either income tax or not raiding on any of the BJP people? You mean to say there are no rich people in BJP? You mean to say that the people who have amassed wealth disproportionate to their known wealth? Huh? Why they are not filing case against any BJP man? Huh? Why they are choosing only Shivakumar and Congress people? That shows it's a vengeance politics.
They can summon Mr. DK Shivakumar and Mr. DK Suresh 500 times more. They are only trying to block our yatra. Neither is DK Shivakumar scared, nor is DK Suresh scared, nor is Mr. Siddaramaiah scared, nor is Mr. VK Hariprasad scared, nor are lakhs and lakhs of Congress workers scared. We will give them a befitting reply in the court of the people, and we reject such malicious, vicious attempts that BJP is undertaking only because they are panic-stricken and they are scared of the overwhelming response of the common people to the yatra.
While the Bharat Jodo Yatra continues in Karnataka, and today is a very important day because it's going to be happening at a mutt, which is important for the Vokkaliga community. That's a community that DK Shivkumar also hails from, and that's a community that Congress is looking to woo. It's a very important day for the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and DKS is in charge of it. But he's been called to Delhi, and in fact, my colleague Siddhant Mishra joined us from the location where he will be questioned at. Siddhant, at what time is he expected to reach there, and what do we expect the line of questioning to be today? Take us through it.
Well, look, this is not for the first time that DK Shivkumar has been summoned by Enforcement Directorate. In fact, he was placed under arrest in 2019, and later he was behind the bars for a couple of months in a money laundering case. So this is perhaps the second time that DK Shivkumar has been summoned. This time around, his brother DK Suresh has also been summoned by Enforcement Directorate. Right now, we are at Kaveri apartment. We have been told that DK Shivkumar is staying here, and at around 10:30 he is likely to come out, and he will go to Enforcement Directorate's office in the national capital, and at around 11 we have been told that questioning with DK Shivkumar will begin. Now this questioning is happening at a time when DK Shivkumar is the chairman of Congress party committee in Karnataka, and Bharat Jodo Yatra is passing through Karnataka. So he's loaded with lot of party related works. He's loaded with lot of responsibility related to Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Yatra is passing through Karnataka state, and he has been questioned by Enforcement Directorate. And this is perhaps the reason that he is making this allegation on BJP that they are rattled. They're not liking the success of Bharat Jodo Yatra. And this is the reason that they have summoned me and my brother to disturb the Yatra. Everyone knows that I belong to Karnataka. I am the chief of the party in Karnataka, and it is very important for me to be there at the time of Yatra. But since I have been summoned, it is only because BJP is rattled and they're not liking the success of the Yatra. So this is what DK Shivkumar has to say. But Enforcement Directorate has to say that there were certain dealings which DK Shivkumar and DK Suresh had with Young Indian National Herald. There were some donations which were made by them, and to corroborate that evidence, they have been summoned. They have been called by Enforcement Directorate today. Now this is a long going investigation in National Herald Young Indian case. Mallikarjun Kharge, Pawan Bansal, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, they all have been summoned. Their statements have been recorded. Today is DK Shivkumar and his brother's turn. They will be questioned related to the transactions that were made by them to Young Indian. There was some amount which was transferred, and they are going to be questioned regarding that. So this is what Enforcement Directorate has to say. Back to you.
Stay with us. Siddhant, we're also joined by our senior political editor, Pallavi Ghosh, for more on this. Very good morning to you, Pallavi. Now, today is an important day in the Bharat Jodo Yatra in the state of Karnataka because it is at the mutt, which is very important to the Vokkaliga community, which DKS hails from. The Congress looking to woo that community in a big way. But Pallavi, by now the Congress must be used to taking these questionings in their stride, and they've responded saying it is vengeance which has prompted these cases, and especially today's questioning against them.
There are two ways of looking at it, and there are going to be two angles to it. Certainly, the Congress party is going to call it a case of political witch hunt. I remember DK Shivkumar had made that request to the ED that since he's, in a sense, organizing the Karnataka leg because he's a state Congress in charge of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, he should be excused this time round. That permission was not given, and that's again a point which he made, that this is a clear-cut case of political witch hunt and yet again a misuse of the CBI and the ED. So how is the Congress going to use it to their advantage when they're going to make the point that, look, they are scared of the Yatra and the traction it's been getting on the ground, and therefore they do not want DK Shivkumar to be there. But the BJP's counter argument to it is that you are taking pot shots at us, calling us a 40% commission ki sarkar. You're trying to provide what you call and claim is a clean alternative to the BJP in Karnataka. But look, your state Congress chief and one of the contenders for the top post, if the Congress party comes to power in Karnataka, is himself under the scanner. He is corrupt. Therefore, what kind of an alternative are you projecting? So I think staying away from Delhi, if you look at the politics in Karnataka, that's going to be the game which is going to be played out by the BJP and also by the Congress.
That's a very important perspective coming in there from Pallavi. Pallavi, stay with us. Let's also go across to Ritu, who joins us live from Karnataka. Ritu, what is the schedule for the yatra?
There is a massive controversy brewing over the Aam Aadmi Party Minister Rajendra Gautam giving an oath to over 10,000 people earlier this week converting to Buddhism. This was a video tweeted out by the BJP. It clearly shows that it's not just the conversion that is the problem, but also the fact that Hindu gods and goddesses were denigrated there. The minister in question, CNN News 18, confronted him. He claims innocence. He says it was not his intention to hurt any religion and that he had gone there in his personal capacity. The BJP has latched on, accusing the Aam Aadmi Party of being an anti-Hindu party. The question is, why should the gods of any religion be insulted to make a point? And can a minister who is sworn in by the constitution of this land claim that he had gone to a public function in his personal capacity?
Another day, another controversy for the Aam Aadmi Party. This time, a massive row has erupted over a video tweeted by the Delhi BJP.
गौरी गणपति आदि हिंदू धर्म के किसी भी देवी देवताओं को नहीं मानूंगा और ना ही उनकी पूजा करूंगा.
In the video, thousands of people can be seen taking an oath and converting to Buddhism.
ईश्वर नहीं मानूंगा.
In the video, the AAP minister Rajendra Gautam can be seen on the stage while thousands are taking an oath in an alleged mass conversion rally. People were allegedly asked to pledge not to worship the Hindu gods and goddesses.
ब्रह्मा विष्णु और महेश को कभी ईश्वर नहीं मानूंगा.
Facing flack from all spheres, the AAP minister is adamant and defended the event, saying it has nothing to do with politics.
ये आयोजन भारतीय बौद्ध महासभा हर साल आयोजित करती है. इसका राजनीति से कोई लेना नहीं है, किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से कोई लेना नहीं. हम लोग सभी धर्मों को आदर और सत्कार करते हैं, सबकी आस्था की इज्जत करते हैं.
नहीं मानूंगा.
The opposition BJP is up in arms, terming the AAP Sarkar a Hindu विरोधी party.
मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल से कहता हूं कि 24 घंटे के अंदर ऐसे मंत्री को बर्खास्त करना चाहिए और नहीं तो हम पुलिस में कंप्लेंट देंगे.
Already caught in the fire of the alleged liquor and DTC scam, should the Aam Aadmi Party sack its minister and come out clean?
All right, this evening on The Talking Point, Anuja Kapur is spokesperson of the BJP, Prashant Gadhavi is a political analyst, Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author, and Kevin Mathews will also be joining our social activist. Anuja Kapur, Mr. Rajendra Gautam, the minister in question, says he went there in his personal capacity. I'm not sure what personal capacity means for somebody who is constitutionally sworn in as a minister of the government of Delhi. Does that defense cut ice with you, the fact that he's saying that this has nothing to do with the Aam Aadmi Party or the government? He went there in his personal capacity, and this is something that is organized by the Bodh Mahasabha every single year.
So, Zaka, as you've asked, what is his personal capacity in public consent? This is where the whole controversy lies. He is talking about that it was in his own capacity he went. If this thing has happened with BJP, they would not have asked us and would not have questioned the BJP and gave us asked for tweets and resignations of the XYZ. But when it comes to them, and now they are under the line of fire, they are saying that Arvind Kejriwal ji is very angry with this minister. But have you seen any PC being given by this Arvind Kejriwal's party? No. Who is giving PC every 5 minutes and taunting BJP? He has not said anything against his minister. He is there giving PC for Manish Sisodia, that he's a Kattar Imandar, for Satyendra Jain, he's a Kattar Imandar, Tahir Hussain, Amanatullah. But when it is coming about Hinduism, he is not doing any PC. Rather, he projects himself and goes out and wears a tilik and wears the mala and wears bhagwa clothes and projecting himself as a Hindu. Okay. And then he's in his minister. The ideology of that party shows that they endorse this, and the ideology of the party shows that the ministers who speak such ill-fit anti-Hindu venom endorses it. Arvind Kejriwal stands with them, and he wants that this kind of appeasement policy should be kept going because it is
Gadhavi,
only voters.
The
They have
problem,
nothing to do with the religion.
is not that anyone is free to convert to any religion as long as it's out of their free will and there's no inducement or nobody is forcing them to convert. The problem in that video and the problem that a minister of the Delhi government is attending that and is seemingly leading this pledge is that it denigrates Hindu gods. मैं ब्रह्मा, विष्णु और महेश में विश्वास नहीं करूंगा, उनको मानूंगा नहीं. ये सब कहने की मतलब क्या है? There was no need to do that. There's no need to denigrate the god of any other religion just because you have converted to one religion. I think that is the nub of the problem. And the minister, I'm sorry, I mean, I don't think once you are in public life, whether you're a minister or not, once you are elected to public office, there is no such thing as personal capacity. You are a public official. You are in the glare of the media. You're in the glare of your constituents. You're in the glare of the public. You do not have the luxury of saying, मैं अपने personal capacity पे गया था.
So absolutely, as you rightly said, there is nothing like a personal. See, once you are carrying some cap, or you are a public figure, and you are a leader of or a minister of one state, then everything should be on a public. First thing. Secondly, as you also rightly said, freedom of speech. It is definitely there for the constitution, for the people of India. But at the same time, where to use, how to use, it should be on the understanding of individuals that where and how we can use. As Mr. Pal has, he was kind of forcing to take an oath regarding मैं ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश को नहीं मानता हूँ. So are you trying to create your own spiritual world like Dharma Guru, other Dharma Guru? Because already we are struggling and we are facing a lot of issues regarding love jihad. So how come this third parameter comes into picture after Hindu Muslim? So Buddhism, you are creating your own another world of spiritual world like Buddhism. You are forcing taking an oath. इनको नहीं मानता हूं तो what you want to try to prove? First thing. Secondly, as I was trying to convey that love jihad is between two other regions, and you are creating group within your territory, within your region. And my question to every booth: you are only in your living certificate, are you writing only booth or a Hindu booth?
Okay.
So it is a Hindu religious. So why? Because it is creating a spark. Already your opposition or another political parties are trying to gauge you or trying to dig out something outside from your mouth.
Okay. Let me go to Ratan Sharda as well. Ratan Sharda, there are problems at multiple levels with this video. One, the fact that a sitting minister has gone for this Baudh convention, as it were. Secondly, like I said, the fact that you can convert to whatever religion you want to convert, but you don't need to insult the gods of Hindu religion while you're doing that. And most importantly, as Anuja said, the Aam Aadmi party comes out and defends every half hour. We've had press conference from AAP, when the Liquorgate scam happened, when Satyendra Jain was questioned by the ED, when Manish Sisodia was raided. Every half hour, every 1 hour, they've come out and put out press conferences. But since this morning, we have not heard anything official on record from the Aam Aadmi party. Yes, there was source-based information that Mr. Kejriwal is very upset with what Mr. Gautam has done or said, but nothing on the record. I mean, if on the record, the party should have come and said, we have nothing to do with what Mr. Gautam said. We condemn the fact that he went there, whether it is in personal capacity or as minister, whatever the case may be. He had no business being part of a function where gods of any religion were denigrated. We haven't heard that.
Well, Zaka, it is something similar to what we hear, sources say that Sonia Gandhi is upset or Rahul Gandhi is upset when something happens. This means nothing. See, AAP is copying the copybook of Congress whom it wants to replace. It is no more the party that it claimed to be. It is corrupt, thoroughly corrupt. It is thoroughly corrupted both morally as well as financially. It has the same secular agenda, which means if you are secular, you must abuse, must insult Hindus and must create hate against Hindus. This is the formula for many years now. And thirdly, the personal capacity. So any big leader in Congress says anything, it becomes personal capacity. So where is the party? Where is the organization? Now coming to much more serious issue. Let me first of all admit that these 22 oaths is not something that these people have invented. These were actually said by Dr. Ambedkar during Dhamma Parivartan Chakra, in Nagpur when he did the conversion.
Yeah.
But that was the time Dr. Ambedkar had faced harrowing time. His followers had faced harrowing times. They had no power. They were totally marginalized. At that time, Ambedkar carried a lot of bitter memories. Even Congress had forsaken him, never allowed him to win any elections. So at that time, in that anger of the mood, he made those statements. But he never meant hurt Hindu Dharma, because he never allowed his followers to go to Islam or Christianity. This very fact that he stuck to the dharmic values of Bharat shows that his roots were very deep in Bharat. He abhorred the hypocrisy and the atrocities of high caste Hindus, which is correct. But by the same yardstick, these people talk about the atrocities of on Dalits by the Muslim invaders or even current Muslims.
No, but
There are
Ratanji, how do you then respond to what Mr. Gautam is saying, that this was the exact same pledge that was taken in 1956, and this has been taken. This has been taken for years since. So you can't blame him, is what he's saying.
That's what I'm coming to. Situation has changed. Dr. Ambedkar himself created a constitution which gave rights to everybody, including reservation. The place for the Dalits has risen astronomically in every field of life, and we cannot have the same yardstick result at the time of Dr. Ambedkar. Are you saying that from Dr. Ambedkar's constitution to today's 75 years or 70 years, nothing has changed? If that is true, then why they're not talking of Christian conversions? Why they're not talking of Muslim conversions? AAP is ruling in Punjab. There people are converted to Christianity's big numbers. Has AAP ever opened its mouth? Has it opened its mouth for the atrocities of Muslims on Dalit people? No, he will only talk of Hindus, because there is inherent vote bank issue. There is inherent hate that AAP cannot hide.
Kevin Mathews, on the one hand, Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party are trying to be more Hindu than the BJP. We've seen, all the puja celebrations, him reciting the Hanuman Chalisa just before the election, all of that, which is fine. Nobody has a problem with that. But on the other hand, you can't be brooking a convention like this where, like I said, anybody is free to convert as long as you're an adult, as long as you're not being forced or not being induced to convert, that is fine. But the oath that's being taken there says, "Main Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh ko nahi manunga." That is insulting of Hindu gods. You don't need to convert to another religion by insulting the gods of a second religion. I mean, that is the problem. And a minister who is constitutionally sworn into office leading that pledge, that is a problem.
See, sir, I understand that, and since sentiments were heard, that is definitely because faith is something that is very close to all of us, and it's very close to a person. And faith and spirituality, and where sentiments are heard, that should be taken into consideration. It is ideal that we always take into consideration the sentiments of the people around us. But having said that, the problem is it's not always about politics. It is not about Hindus or BJPs or Aam Aadmi or Congress or any other party. This is not a political issue on a first side. And I am so saddened by the fact that BJP is taking up every thing like that position politically, because that changes the demographics of this. Because even, see, they took the pledge because they felt they have been wrong. Yes, and that is their individual thing, and that is not a political position for God's sake. That's a personal position.
No, I'm not even getting into the politics of. No, one second, Kevin. I'm not even getting into the politics of it. I am again not, begrudging any of the people there who wanted to convert or did convert to Buddhism. It's their free right. The Constitution gives them that right. But what it does not give them is the right to insult gods of a particular religion while they are doing that conversion. I mean, that is where the problem is.
So, I concede. And if sentiments were heard, I think we should find some middle ground and take people into confidence. But and there are two sides to it. Was there a criminal insult? Was there an act that has to be that has to become sub judice at some point of time? That's a different story. So if that is there, then we have our own legal system. We have our own courts and our own.
Okay, let me ask Anuja that. What Kevin is saying is there was no communal incident, there was no violence. These were all adult individuals who came and converted. So you can't make a big deal of it because it was not like it led to any flare up.
No, sir. Let me complete.
Anuja. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, just a second. So, Kevin, I feel very sad listening to you, and it really wrenches my heart. So, I don't know, why do you say this? So, it means that you also endorse that the god and goddess of any religion should be insulted like this publicly.
No,
Don't
please,
do that.
please let me
The
complete.
Constitution
Please let me
doesn't
complete.
allow.
Please.
Sir, Kevin, allow me to speak.
Ma'am,
See, when you
please
were
let me
speaking, I
complete.
was
Please let me
just
complete before you go
Kevin,
into my
no, Kevin, you have to
You're
be
putting
quiet.
words into my
Just give me
mouth
2
now.
minutes.
I am not
No,
endorsed
Kevin,
anything.
you have
I'm
to
not
be
endorsed
quiet.
anything.
So, Zakaji, what I am trying to put through is
Zaka,
that
Zaka,
it is
Zaka.
very sad to see that the people like Kevin are sitting there in all the crowds, and they allow the god and goddess of any religion to be insulted in front of the people. This is where the situation comes. What did BJP do? BJP has taken a stand on the insult, not on the conversion. Be very true and be very particular about this. The FIR is on the incitement of trying to do the communal rights, trying to do that. And you have also insulted the god and goddess. The BJP has put a FIR towards minister.
Okay, Kevin, respond 30 seconds, and I'll give Ratanji the final word after this. 30 seconds, Kevin, to respond to Anuja, and then Ratanji after that. Yeah.
Two things. Wow. I've always maintained that I've not endorsed any of the actions that have happened there. And if anybody's feelings have been hurt, I said they should be taken into consideration. Individual feelings have to be cut.
All right. What's your second point?
Feelings have been affected. They have to be taken. That was my statement. She is putting words into my mouth.
What is the second point?
Now, so the question that she answered to, my only question to you, ma'am, is why BJP, the ruling party of this country, which is a non-communal party, takes up issues of only one community. Then if you're so
all right, Ratanji, final word, 30 seconds. I think maybe you can answer what Kevin's question is. Why is BJP taking up only when Hindu gods and goddesses are insulted? You never take up when gods of other faiths are insulted.
When were gods of other faith insulted?
Nupur Sharma said something not so nice about Prophet Muhammad.
Allegations.
No, Ratanji, you know this. Nupur Sharma said something pretty not nice about Prophet Muhammad.
See, what she said was actually directly from Hadith, so let us not get into that territory. And these people made Sarsanta as something a legal issue. They made it a constitutional issue that they can kill anybody. So what could BJP do? BJP suspended the woman, the lady. She is facing death threats for what is constitutionally correct. Now coming to main issue, please come to main issue. See, Aap's anti-Hindu feelings are very clear. He said Jhadu. There was a poster he put up where broom was chasing swastika. They said Mera Ram kisi masjid ko tod ke wahan reh nahi sakta. He said that these MLAs were arrested for riots. He called Kashmir Files a jhoti picture. That is one point. Secondly, very serious issue. Is casteism an issue of only Hindus today? It's an Indian issue. Why are Christians demanding rights under the scheduled tribe? Though they can convert, they go to a religion which is supposed to be casteless. Why are Sikhs facing problem and why they are converting to Christianity? Why are Muslims demanding SC, ST and OBC status when their religion doesn't give any casteism?
In fact, that issue is coming up before the Supreme Court next week. I'm really short of time. Thank you. I'm really short of time, but that is a very, very important issue that you've raised. It's coming up before the Supreme Court next week, and we'll be closely following that. In the meanwhile, thank you very much, Ratan Sharda, Anuja Kapur, Kevin Mathews, and of course, Prashant for joining us. Finally, as we wrap up, my colleague Maria Shakil has had an exclusive conversation with Om Raut and Manoj Muntashir, director and lyricist of the movie Adi Purush, and the controversy, the storm over the alleged portrayal of the epic Ramayan.
आपने जो डिविएशन किया है फ्रॉम द बुक रामायणा द रीज़न वाई आई एम सेइंग इज़ क्योंकि अभी जो अरुण गोविल का एक वीडियो वायरल हुआ था दैट इज़ इंडियाज़ कनेक्ट टू लॉर्ड राम और यहाँ पर जो डिपिक्शन है उसके बारे में सवाल उठ रहा है और बोला जा रहा है ये कंप्लीट डिविएशन है और फेथ के साथ छेड़छाड़ किया गया है.
ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, not even 1% of our film is deviation from the actual Ramayana. जब हम रामायण की बात करते हैं, what comes to our mind and what have you seen in the teaser? रामायण क्या है? रामायण एक कथा है जिसमें the devil king, the demon king, रावण वो हमारी माँ सीता का हरण कर लेते हैं. भगवान राम माँ सीता को बचाने जाते हैं, समुद्र पे पुल बांधते हैं, वो वानर सेना की, सुग्रीव की और बजरंगबली हनुमान की सहायता लेते हैं. दिस इज Like in a nutshell, this is Ramayana as told to a 5-year-old kid.
There is one image of Saif Ali Khan as Ravan who is sitting on a mystic bird. There are scholars, historians who are of the opinion that in Ramayan there is no description that of any kind of bird of this nature.
Sure. So he's demonic, right? He is Mayavi. He is a person who is the greatest villain of all time. He is a demon. He's a 10-headed demon, and you will have to see the film to actually understand that particular point. But he's riding a huge creature, right? And that's his right. And that is a very it's a very negative visual that I see personally as a filmmaker. And when I talk about when I talk about a really ruthless a demon king called Ravan, I see him riding that obnoxious creature. एक दुराचारी, एक दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति का ऐसा ये किरदार है रावण हमारी इतिहास का, और ये दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति का किरदार जो है वो जिस पर सवार होके आ रहा है वो भी एक खौफनाक और नेगेटिविटी से भरा हुआ ऐसा ये क्रीचर है. इट इज पुष्पक विमान, तो ये बिल्कुल वैसे है नहीं, क्योंकि पुष्पक विमान हम हिंदुओं के लिए बहुत ही पवित्र है.
आप ये बताया कि रामायण में इसका कोई जिक्र नहीं है, इस तरह की किसी बर्ड का जिक्र नहीं है, या जो क्रीचर है, आपने उस क्रीचर की बात की, बिल्कुल जिक्र नहीं है. लेकिन रामायण में रावण के मायावी होने का जिक्र है कि वो भी नहीं है. ये तो है ना कि वो अपने छल से, अपनी माया से अनेक ढांचे खड़े कर लिया करता था, बहुत कुछ कर लिया करता था, माया से चित्र खींच दिया करता था, माया से मौसम बदल दिया करता था, कितना कुछ माया से कर लिया करता था वो. तो जो उसका मायावी होना है, जिसका जिक्र लाइक इट इज ऑन लाइक एवरी अदर पेज ऑफ रामायणा.
Co-powered by Tuxedo Wedding by Alan Solly.